Колеги, ми продовжуємо робочі.
We continue our working day, and the next topic is the results. The study of Ukrainian communities' best practices to provide assistance. Marina Saprykina, Kateryna Scheglova, Iryna Filenko, Tetyana Franchuk. They are coordinators on relations with the Ukrainian community in the UK, Germany, and Portugal. Good morning. Today we present a study of the Ukrainian community abroad, and this is the first presentation here of Ukraine country brand. We were three of us who founded this Ukraine country brand, and it is an expert platform to promote Ukraine. And we work for half a year, and we have several priorities. And one of this is the cooperation with Ukrainians who live abroad. And today, together, my co-presenters are my colleagues, Tetyana, Kateryna, and Iryna. So the first study was conducted last year, and we investigated how people see Ukraine abroad. And this study can be watched online, and we understand that Ukrainian communities who live abroad, they are a strong force, and they help Ukraine. And we also get to know that in some countries there are no such communities or small communities, and we should study the experience in those countries who have those communities, and provide this experience to those who only start to to get together into a community. We conducted this study in the summer of this year, and 23 countries joined, and they told us how they work, how they help Ukraine, and what they do for Ukraine, and we help them, and we say thank you. So we don't know everyone, but there are some personal contacts, internet, Google. Also, we go to embassy websites, and through social media. There were several ways. This was through internet or by personal communication. And I want that my colleagues tell us about their experience. Last year, I lived in two countries, Ukraine and Portugal. When I went to Portugal, I became a co-founder of an organization, and we used the experience of Ukrainians abroad, because in Portugal we didn't have such organizations that would deal with the issues that arose after the revolution of dignity. And I gathered the experience abroad, and then I went to Ukraine, and I'm a PR manager, and I worked in the communication sphere, in business environment, and I transferred my knowledge to social sphere. I conducted a study, and we found best practices. So you should learn from other people, and you should share positive experience. In spring, there was Running for Peace, and in Portugal it was the stop, and we organized media support for them and supported them, and these events took place through all the Europe, and the coordination among the Ukrainian communities was really great. And from a family from Dnipropetrovsk started to travel around the world, and they go to America, and the diaspora gathers to support and listen to their stories. So now, Kateryna, good morning. I'm an international journalist, and I also joined the processes that now undergo in our country, and I visit Great Britain frequently, and that was a very interesting job, and I met many people who support or promote Ukrainian culture abroad. These were very interesting stories of people, and I, as a journalist, spoke with them and wrote about my experience. And there were many communities who didn't know each other. So I think that this study will help to gather people. And you know that Great Britain, they have a big Ukrainian community. There are cultural projects. And now at this stage, we met and with different people, and through Facebook we help people. For example, community in Scotland wanted to greet the Ukrainian Sports Federation so they can greet our sportsmen. Or, for example, psychological help for rehabilitation of our servicemen. The contacts and the cooperation among our state is very important. Thank you. So the activity of Ukrainian communities abroad. So, of course, these are different spheres. We gathered them. So, first of all, activities are sports, culture, and this is very important and popular events. Fashion, politics, demonstrations, flash mobs, networking. They plan actions in different events together. Helping those who were wounded during ATO operation, and in Portugal they also support Ukraine, and Ukrainian communities, they help the embassy to share information and to communicate with the media, and the target audience is very different. Sometimes really different people, but investors, tourists, and some people even said that one of the indicators of our efficiency is that we gather the volunteers of different countries to help Ukraine, students, and they conduct events. Ukrainian community, the representatives of Ukrainian community conduct some events, lectures. Then the results, the indicators. First of all, these are the participants of the events. Sometimes 100, sometimes it's 1,000. Then fundraising, then websites, the renewal, the upgrading. Then in some countries they built a church cultural center, library that help together Ukrainian community together, and also the popularization of our country, cooperation. They cooperate with Lviv Business School, chambers of commerce, a church, and with the students community and other different organizations. And we should get together in order to help Ukraine. Then the cooperation with the embassy. We divided it into two spheres. So many embassies invite for some events. They help to HO servicemen, to children, and media support. And also some people said that they gather some applications, some claims, but then nothing happens. And one of the best practices in Italy, they created a council in the embassy that gathered together some representatives of Ukrainian community. We help embassies, we provide some statistical data for them. And as to positive experience, a positive comment about Ukrainian embassy in Norway, and this is the example for others. We analyzed in October whether it is easy for Ukrainians to find Ukrainian communities in other countries. Tetyana is going to tell us about this. When we started our research, it was a site of international relations on the websites of different embassies, and not all the sites contained information about Ukrainian communities. For example, in France and Belgium, the sites are not in operation, and not all the sites contain the information about Ukrainian media. Czech Republic, Sweden, and Switzerland don't have the information. And if we are speaking about the partners, these are media, local authorities, and government institutions that help us a budget of this event. And this is, they said that they work for free, and they do it for promoting the interests of Ukraine, and this is impressive. And they gather funds, and it's about $100 or $200. But sometimes the governments of other states provide some funds, and the Estonia, governments of Estonia, Kazakhstan, and Norway, they provide some funds for these events. As to the problems of Ukrainian communities abroad, so the inertia of the community, especially of the young, the absence of coordination and initiative, lack of responsibility, lack of media support. There are some cultural differences, because, for example, in Dubai and Greece, and some customs problems, and of course, they can't solve all these problems, but still we can do something about it. Effectiveness of work. So first of all, lack of quality materials about Ukraine, lack of financial support, and the governments of other states. Some governments help, some governments don't. And then recommendations, what we propose to do further together. It's not the only recipe, and the people who are in places, they know how to deal with situations, but we try to help. First, the first recommendation is communication that rules the world, and promote Ukrainian community in the whole world. The first recommendation is to communicate with each other, and when there's a need to cooperate with some country, and you are in this country, you visit this country, the good example is to search for Ukrainian community and to provide some help, some information to them. And during our study, we saw some transformation through some time, and we saw the transformation, how these communities underwent transformation, the work, the help, to gather funds, to raise funds for ATO servicemen and humanitarian help. And these communities participated in the process of international organizations. They included in the different programs, and there was also equipment from Germany, from German clinics, and this equipment was brought to Ukrainian hospitals, and it's an equipment that it means that Ukrainian community are self-organized, and they progress in their communication with Ukraine and with those people with whom they cooperate in different directions. Also, the use of technology. Well, we know that technologies come to Ukraine, and there are we can attract technologies to Ukraine, and the cooperation among Ukrainian communities is resultative, and we can even say that this is a level of cooperation like in business, and these people, they are enthusiastic, and they help, and they are interested in helping to represent those opportunities that they have. And as to recommendations, there should be cooperation, share of experience, or in case that
or there is necessity to strengthen your work with some experience. And thus we became initiators of the project, summarizing all the recommendations about best practices. What Iryna mentioned, we are trying to develop recommendations. We would like to do this jointly with other organizations and develop just one page of recommendations. Also, jointly with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we would like to develop such piece of information database of Ukrainian agencies abroad, and also we would like to have just one database of projects which could be supported by grants. And now we pass over to the Q&A session. Natalia Pavlenko, UCMC. You mentioned a good experience from Norway. Could you please describe in more detail and comment why you do not have similar relations with other countries? And the second question, which embassy is the easiest to cooperate with? Thank you for the question. As for the Norway, we just wanted to see grassroots level. As for the embassies, we simply did not involve all the embassies. In case with Norway, we just wanted to check how the communication works, how smoothly works the communication, and this immediately resulted in very quick response. We did not involve other embassies, but Tanya may comment on the Portugal. Gradually, with the time, we established a rather efficient cooperation. We have compiled a database of Portuguese journalists. Of course, Ukrainian embassy is an official source of information about Ukraine abroad. As public civil society, we can establish our own relations and organize campaigns like information campaign to support Nadia Savchenko and celebrations of Ukrainian Independence Day, etc. My question to Marina: I guess you have a website or a Facebook page or something like that. Could you please mention them? We have our website, Ukraine country brand, and you may visit it. And what do you plan to implement in the nearest future? That is what we presented. There will be recommendations which we mentioned, and meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You mentioned that you support wounded servicemen from the ATO area, and do you cooperate with volunteering organizations? That's not ours. This is Ukrainian community abroad. A year ago, we have started collecting signatures on the petition for rehabilitation of our servicemen abroad, and we have collected 4,000 signatures. Half of them were put by the Portuguese, and finally, Portuguese government decided that they are ready to finance it, and currently we are passing this through the parliament. Currently they have elections. Nevertheless, we expect that by the end of this year we will bring some servicemen to Portugal for rehabilitation. As for the United Kingdom, Ukrainian community supports Ukrainian servicemen very actively, including assistance to the wounded servicemen. And recently there was a charity event organized in the UK. This was a photo and arts exhibition, and all the funds which we raised in course of this exhibition, they were allocated for rehabilitation of the servicemen. Actually, all Ukrainian communities abroad now more or less have this objective. Speaking about Ukrainian communities, you mentioned that the youngest and middle-aged Ukrainians abroad, they stay rather indifferent. This was a comparison, so they look indifferent comparatively to the elder generation. You ask why this could happen. Probably this is partially related to the longer term of adaptation for that young people in that new hosting countries, and nevertheless all Ukrainians abroad, they continue their work. They are more or less active, and we should state that people are rather active. We would like to finalize our briefing. We are very grateful to everybody who got involved, and what was written in the questionnaires will be communicated to the respondents. Our next brief